Hello, I'm Janna, and welcome back to the Crafty Corner. This week at the Funkie Junkie Inspiration Avenue, we are creating to the theme of The Flowers Are Coming. So we're going to be diving in and having some fun with some Tim Holtz Sizzix dies, and we're going to be playing with some Distress Mica crayons. If you'd like to see exactly which supplies I'm going to be using, go ahead and pause here. All right, let's head over to the Crafty Corner. Since we're creating to the theme of The Flowers Are Coming today, this seemed like a great time to pull in the Tim Holtz Sizzix die set Artsy stems. This is a fun set and I love the different flowers that we're going to be getting in here. But to make this even more interesting, we're going to be doing a dimensional card today. It's going to be a pop-up card and we're going to be using a few layers to create our pop-up. So let's start there. First, I have my card base. This was cut at 8.5 by 5.5. So pretty simple with this one. We're just going to fold that base in half. And the cardstock that I'm using today is from Sizzix. I really like their textured cardstock. It's really pretty and it comes in so many different colors. It is really nice to create with. All right. Then this part's a little unusual. I typically don't start with a base, and I usually don't line my base with an interior, but today we need an interior because this is going to be where the pop-up element comes in. So we're going to take this piece of cardstock. This was cut at 8.25 by 5 inches. So I'm just going to take that and fold it in half, and then we're going to need a ruler. So I've got a ruler here and I'm just going to, let's see, I think the pop-up element's going to be right here. And I need to measure out 1.5 inches for the line that I'm going to draw. So I'm just lining things up right now. So I've got a good idea of where things are. I'm actually using the media mat as a guide in addition to the ruler to make sure that my lines are going to go exactly where I'd like them. Okay, so from the middle, we're just going to draw out 1.5 inches on both sides. Good. And then we're going to move down. Let's see, how far do we want to move down? I think we'll be moving down about 1.25 inches. That should be plenty of space. And again, we're going to draw a line in. So let's just get that lined up. There we go. Good. And I'm just going to connect these lines. Nope, we don't need to connect because that's actually going to kind of do that on its own. But you know what? I do want that line just to remind me where to crease. Right here. And here. Good. So now that I have these lines, we are going to cut from here to here and here to here. The other line that's on here right now is just my fold line. So just like that. Okay, right there. There we go. Now I just need to crease this. And we'll do the same thing on this side. I'm just pulling that forward and pressing down. So right here is our pop-up element. It's going to just come out like that. It's going to be a little box. And I saw this really neat thing on Pinterest where someone had made just a little snip here and here to pull down a box flap, which I thought was a really neat idea. So let's try to incorporate that here. So with that, just bring that down, fold that, and that's just, it's another neat little 3D element. I really like that. That's pretty cool. And I'm just going to erase these guidelines. we don't need those anymore. Excellent. So just take a second look at that. There we go. We've got this nifty little pop-up element. Now, we're going to attach the base and the pop-up feature. And to do that, I figured we'd just bring in some of the ATG tape. The only thing we need to remember is don't put any tape on the pop-up element. Everywhere else is fair game, just not on the element. So just do our usual run around the perimeter with the tape and add in a little bit more tape to fill in some of that empty space. Okay, right along here, making sure that we're staying off that pop-up element. There we go. One more here and one more there. Great. So I'm just going to take this, folding it back in half, and I'm going to line this up, making sure that everything is even. Yep, like that. And there, just gonna smush that. Okay, there we go. Our pop-up element is looking good, and we've got a lovely card base. Okay, next we are going to be working on the cover for the card. Now, for the cover, I decided that, again, I'm going to be layering things up. We're going to be doing a layer of craft stock, metallic, silver, and then I'll be doing another layer with some distressed watercolor paper. So, let's go ahead. We'll attach that silver layer. Same thing, just running around the perimeter with the tape. And let's take that, put this right here. This is covering the entire front of the card. There we go. Excellent. All right, I'm setting that aside for the moment. And now we are going to be doing a little bit of stenciling. And we're going to be using the Distress Ink colors, Mermaid Lagoon, Squeezed Lemonade, and Picked Raspberry. One of my favorite color combinations. So we're going to grab a stencil and go from there. The stencil that we'll be using today is THS084. Of course, this one would be by Tim Holtz and created by Stampers Anonymous. So let's go ahead and put the stencil down, and we're going to be pulling in some of the tiny blending tools. I love these, and this seemed like a great time to bring these out. I like these particularly for stencils with lots of detail on them. So let's go ahead and start. So just going around, blending pretty randomly, and we'll just see what we get. Okay, that's one. Now let's go into the Picked Raspberry. Put that here. Definitely trying to overlap to get a bit of a blend going, which I always enjoy. Okay. And a bit more down here. That's good. Now I guess we want the Mermaid Lagoon. All right. There we go. Just getting that right in here. Oof. Love the colors already. Definitely one of my favorite color combos, using the Squeezed Lemonade, Mermaid Lagoon, and Picked Raspberry. Definitely one of my favorites. Okay. All right, this is good. Let's lift, and that is looking quite beautiful. Now, I'm not going to leave it here. I want this to be more of an abstract background, so we're going to be going in with some water. Okay, let's go ahead and dry this off, and we'll put that on fast forward as we do a little bit more cleanup around the edges and try to get a more distressed look. And here is the finished background. Definitely very happy with this. We've got some great speckling going on and some lovely distress here. So we're going to be taking that and adding that to the front of our card. But before we do that, we want to add a little embellishment on here. We're going to be pulling in some jute string. This is from a really old school by Holtz and Ideology. I got really lucky and found this on Amazon. So I'm going to be using some of this to add a little bit of texture to the card. So I think we're going to pull in some of that gray. All right, because I want to just wrap that twice around here. So let's see how much we need. Let's see, I want to just stick the corner there. That if I can. Yeah. That should work. Okay. So just take that, we'll give that a little snip, and I can attach that with a little bit of washi tape so things won't slide around. Okay, there's the washi tape, right over the string. Good. And take that. And there. Quick and easy. Now we've got the lovely string feature on the front. Okay, just quickly adjust that. Things there. That looks better. Okay, so we're now going to attach that to the card front. We'll use the ATG tape. Just quickly run that all the way around. Just take that and this, stick that all together. There we go. Loving the layers on this. It's very good. All right, and let's see. I also have a lovely flower. This is left over from my melting pot glaze experiment, and we can add that right here. And I'm thinking I'll put the sentiment in the center. So let's do the sentiment next. We're going to go for Hello Spring. That will be a excellent sentiment to use on this card. And for this set, I have one of the Tim Holtz clear stamp sets. This is from Bunny Hop, and that will be a fun one to play with. So we'll just stick this down, and we're going to be using some Distress Archival Black Soot. There. Let's make sure everything's still aligned. Looks good. And let's just put that right here. There we go. Perfect. Now, this is going to end up here, but I'm going to wait because I want to work on the interior of the card next. So now we're going to be bringing in the die cuts from the Artsy stems, and we're going to be altering these with some Distress Pearlescent crayons. We'll do one in real time, and then we'll kick the rest of them on fast forward because we do have quite a few flowers, and these will be used for the pop-up element because we're going to have like a little box popping up full of flowers. Okay, so let's go ahead, bring in the crayons. These are the ones I'll be using today. We have got Yuletide, Unraveled, Wicked Elixir, Tree Lot, Harvest Moon, Fortune Teller, Merry Mint, Jack-o'-lantern, Snow Flurries, and Cocktail Party. So let's start with this one, and we'll color that in. So for this one, I want to use a little bit of pink and Fortune Teller, and then we'll do the stem in Tree Lot and Elixir. So what I'm going to do is just smudge down a bit of the color right on to the die cut. And then we'll just go in with a little bit of the darker color. I'm trying to pair like a light and a dark together to get a really nice contrast. So these are like really fantastical flowers. So I'm not worrying about paying a whole bunch of attention to the color schemes. I'm just trying to pair colors together that complement each other. Okay, so just going around, rubbing that in with my finger to get a good smudge. That works. And then we'll go back and we're going to add in the Wicked Elixir. I'm going to do my light color first, and then I'll come back in with a dash of Tree Lot. All right, smudge, working my way around. There. It's pretty good. I really do love distress crayons, and I've got to remember to use them more often because they are full of possibilities. Okay, and we'll just blend in a little bit of that darker color. Good. So there we go. That would be our first floral altered with distress crayons. As you can see, we've got a little bit of shimmer going on here, and I'm really enjoying the colors. So let's go ahead and put this part on fast forward as we give the rest of the flowers some color. Okay, let's take a look at all those flowers that we just colored. We have got a wonderful flower garden of flowers. So the next thing that we're going to do is attach these to the inside of the pop-up card. So let's just sort these stems out. These are definitely way too long, and I'm going to have to do a bit of trimming, but let's try to get them somewhat organized before bringing the card in. All right. Oh, I am so happy with all these colors. And I just love the shapes of these. It is so, so fun. I've got to remember to use this die set more often. Okay. Okay. So the flowers are ready. And now let's just bring our card in. I think we're going to need to readjust the camera. So just a moment. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the flowers, and I'm going to be gluing them, I think, into that box. So let's try trimming down the stems and see how that's going to work. I think, I don't know, I kind of want to tape now. It's, I'm not quite sure. This is interesting. I could tape. Yeah, I don't think glue is going to really work too well right now, so let's try a bit of tape and see what happens. If it doesn't work, I can always go back and add something stronger. So we're just going to take that, and we'll just put that right here. Okay, and let's see how many flowers I can cluster together to get this to work. All right, I'll have to snip. Let's see here. Just stick that. I'm gonna try to stack these. That's pretty good. I like it. And maybe let's get one of these. I can make that taller. Put that around the back. This is interesting. I typically don't do floral arranging, so paper floral arranging is okay. All right, let's take that one. I'm gonna try to put that low-ish. Keep that tape out of sight. There we go. I like that. Now let's turn. Let's tuck that there. So far, so good. Let's see what I can do on the other side. All right, let's go for one of the big. Oh, maybe one of the little pink ones. That'd be cool. All right, let's do that. And again, definitely needing to chop part of this off. This is a little bit trickier than I was expecting, but you know what? That's okay. I'm enjoying this. All right, got that. Let's take that and put that right here. That's good. Now let's go for a short one. I think that one would be really good short. Okay, got that. We'll take some more tape and we'll put that right here. Let's see how that's gonna fit. Oh, yep, right there. Good. And I want to do one more tall one. Let's go with this tall blue one. I think that will be great. Okay, got that. Set those aside, and one more piece of tape. We'll see what happens. This is definitely really interesting. I haven't done this type of dimensional card before, so this is neat. I love trying out new things and seeing where they end up. Oh, let's get that stuck on here. There we go, and drop that down. Oh, that didn't work. Let's try that again. Getting the tape in there is almost as hard as getting the flower to stay put. Okay. There. Let's just try to keep everything in one spot. It's hard. There's not a lot of room in this little pop-up thing, but we're going to make it work. Okay. All right, so now we have our little pop-up box. We've got the flowers in it. So let's just make sure that this is actually going to close. Yes, it is. All right. That is making me really, really happy. Cool. Let's clear the deck and take a closer look at what we've just created. Okay, so I just want to do a quick thing on the inside before we're done. I want to stamp a little flower in each corner. Well, maybe just two of the corners. Let's see. One right here and one in the other corner, just so that we have a little bit of a finishing touch on the inside. Okay, so there we go. Here's our completed spring card for the Flowers Are Coming theme over at the Funkie Junkie Inspiration Avenue. On the front, we've got some stenciling that was created with a bit of distress ink and then a few spritzes from the distress sprayer. Finished off the front with a bit of jute twine from Ideology and a leftover floral element from Experiments with Ultra Thick and the Ranger Melting Pot. And if we open this up, we have our super cool pop-up element, just like that. We've got our lovely flowers on the inside, and we finished off with a couple of floral stamps. And that would be our Flowers Are Coming card. I am so happy with this pop-up feature. That was so fun to make, and I just love the colorful flowers that we were able to alter using a bit of distressed pearlescent crayon. Thank you so much for joining me here today at the Crafty Corner for some more creative fun. And until next time, happy crafting!